Chloe, when we meet your character, what kind of woman is she?
I think that she's a very young girl in a lot of ways. I think that she's your typical, slightly naive, sheltered teenager. You know, hasn't really dealt with that much adversity in her life. Nothing too crazy, and she's just normal.
Now, you're used to action films. Was there any other training that you needed for this film?
I actually had to forget a lot of my training from my action films in this one because, unlike the other characters in the film, my character is completely untrained and doesn't really know anything about fighting or guns or knives or anything. So for me, I was having to constantly be reminded to act accordingly in the fact that you've never held a gun before, so stop it.
And how important is the idea of truth or being truthful in this film?
I think that truth and trust and honesty is a huge point of this film. It's gigantic in this film. Just the entire relationship between Evan Walker and Cassie is, the whole thing is centered and based around trust and honesty.
And how was it working with Alex and Nick?
It was great. Alex and Nick are two amazing young actors, and they're so different. I mean, they're wildly different, but they're perfect for their roles in so many different respective rights.
And you working with Jay Blakeson, because this is only like the third film, I believe, his first in 2000.
Yeah.
What was it like with him on set as director?
He was amazing. He was, a lot of times with young directors, you get people who don't really know what they want or what they're going to do with the role or the movie, and they don't really know how they're going to conduct themselves. But with him, he was so confident, and he knew exactly where he wanted the project to go, that he had every answer always, and he was just he was the perfect captain of the ship.
And was it true? I believe in my research that you were really the only actress to audition for this role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there is that what drew you to this project?
What drew me to this project was, I went in for a meeting with Sony, and they kind of mentioned this book to me, and I already known the book, so I went and they sent me the book, and I read it, and I fell in love with the character, and I said I want to do this, and I was lucky enough to be on it from the beginning. So then I read the script, and then I met Jay Blakeson, and he was cast as the director, and it was nice to be there from the very beginning, because I've always loved this movie for the true story, which is the book.
And what sets this apart from other like young adult genre films and books?
I would say what sets this apart is that it's first of all, it's not dystopian. It's not, this 1,000 years in the distance and this, traumatically ruined world. It's modern. It's right now. It's as if it happened yesterday or today or tomorrow. And the fact that it's a young adult story, but it deals with adult circumstances. It's literally just a story about young people dealing with a very adult world.
And for someone who hasn't read the book, what specifically should they see this movie for? Why should they see this movie?
Because first of all, it takes all of our vulnerabilities that we have and our fears we have as humans, and it uses it against us in a lot of ways. So it's things we're dealing with every day, natural disasters, trust, honesty, the fear of losing people. It deals with that, and then on top of that, it's a story about love and life and family, and then it's hit with sci-fi and action and thriller. So it has a multitude of reasons why I think you should watch and love this movie.